In 1798, Thomas Malthus predicted that the world would end as population growth would outrun the world's ability to produce sustenance. What he wasn't able to predict was rapid biological innovation, drastically improving crop yields. These innovations have allowed for the present world to produce food for 10 billion people. That's enough to feed the future population in the year 2050. In fact, human population is expected to flatten out much sooner than anticipated. What this doesn't take into account is the biofuel usage in animal feedlots, which increase along with the size of the population. This issue is not with production, but lies within efficiencies in farming as the main point of strategic differentiation for the modern farmer. The current landscape in regards to resources and scarcity is alarming. Currently, according to Futures.com, the main issue that can be noted is distribution, which if made more efficient would mean that no one would be starving given the current levels of production. Also, only 2.5% of the world's water can be used for irrigational purposes, according to GlobalChange.com. Inefficiencies in farmers' harvesting practices are leading to depletion of arable land due to factors such as erosion, salination, as well as inefficient crop management that decreases crop yield. The future farmer will have much more to do with big data, as it is expected to explode, especially within the fields of apps and analytics. It's also slated to experience significant growth with an expected CAGR rate of 23.1% over the 2014 to 2019 revenue forecast. Data-driven decision-making is slated to become the norm. So what does this mean for the modern farmer?
The history of agriculture spans back in time over thousands of years. Before agricultural methods were used to provide for people and societies, humans sustained themselves using hunter-gatherer tactics. The use of agriculture is determined to have been around for over 10,000 years. The implementation of agricultural techniques to systematically produce and cultivate food allowed for humans to remain stationary in a given location long-term for an extended period of time. The earliest instances of agriculture were found to arise at several different times in several different locations around the world. Predating written communication, determining a single earliest date and location is challenging. Southwest Asia is the most prevalent guess at the location of its earliest origins. The earliest crops produced and cultivated by systematic agriculture included wheat, hulled barley, peas, lentils, bitter vetch, chickpeas, and flax. These are known as the founder crops of agriculture, and wheat is believed to be the first crop worked with on a significant scale. Agriculture became the main supplier to societies as the foods obtained through hunter-gatherer methods no longer sufficiently met nutritional needs. This major transition of food sources occurred around the Bronze Age. There are several noted trends regarding the introduction of and shift to large-scale systematic agriculture. As long-term settling in a given area became more appealing, agriculture was used to provide for denser populations of people and was able to provide enough food to last into the off-seasons. Further, previously separated societies began to connect. Trade relations between societies paralleled their growing economic systems, and strategic gift-giving was implemented during this development of inter-societal relations. Regarding the farm machinery and technology used, the 18th century was characterized by the use of oxen and horses for power and other tasks such as sowing, cultivating, and threshing done manually by hand tools. The first cast iron plow was patented by Charles Newbold in 1797. It wasn't until 1837 that steel plows started being manufactured by John Deere and Leonard Andrus. For perspective, in 1850, about 75 to 90 labor hours were necessary to produce 100 bushels, or 2.5 acres, of corn, using a walking plow, harrow, and hand planting. John Frolick built the first gasoline tractor in 1892, and 1954 marked the first year that the number of tractors on farms exceeded the number of horses and mules.
There are many challenges facing the agriculture industry as human population continues to grow and resources are becoming more scarce. As demand increases, the industry has developed ways to try and meet this rising demand, as well as address these challenges. These include the move towards smart farming, which utilizes big data, 3D technology, and drones. Technology has transformed the agriculture industry. With the rise of the internet and data technology, it has made many aspects of farming more efficient and productive. Data is now also more easily and directly available to farmers. This disintermediation has allowed farmers to manage their farms more effectively by having immediate, real-time data about various aspects of their business. Another solution companies are implementing to adapt to the increasing issues in the industry is vertical and urban farming. This method has become more relevant in the past years to address lack of arable land and climate issues. This method of farming is extremely efficient because plants are in a controlled environment and not subject to the climate, and they can also produce a very high volume in a much smaller amount of space. Their carbon footprint is also significantly smaller than traditional industrial farms. This approach also allows to shorten the food supply chain by growing the food directly where it is being consumed, which is cities, resulting in fresher food for consumers and a more direct relationship with their food suppliers. The agricultural environment is also changing, where not only is it having to adapt to larger demand, but new opportunities are also arising. Other industries are starting to look towards agriculture for raw materials for their businesses. The changes in environment and the need for technological advances have also changed how suppliers are running their businesses. New technologies have made many processes similar, and farmers can more easily simply switch products at a lower cost. However, this has led to the bargaining power of input suppliers to decrease. Increasing efficiencies in recycling has also resulted in a decrease in supplier power in the fertilizer sector as well. As disintermediation increases, farmers are more easily able to control their supply and rely less on external suppliers. Farmers are adopting the use of data and the internet to make their businesses more profitable and productive, as well as increase sustainability. However, though technology may provide a competitive edge to those who are already utilizing it, it is a rapidly rising trend and competition within the industry is still high. This is mostly due to competing for limited resources. The best way to battle this is to be as efficient and productive as possible, and with new technology, this has become easier. Overall, this industry is attractive because it produces goods that will always be necessary. Food production isn't going anywhere, but it is evolving, and farmers need to keep up with the changing landscape in order to be successful in the future.
So our recommendation for the current agriculture industry is precision farming. In the past, people are worried about food production cannot meet future demand because population is gonna grow by 70% and it's gonna reach 10 billion by 2050. But however, that's not the real case. Current agriculture production can already afford the future demand, and actually we are wasting about 1/3 of total food production in 2015. Therefore, we should change the main concern from increasing supply to improve efficiency and sustainability. So our solution is so-called smart farming or precision farming, which is combine big data with the farming process. And the problem becomes how do we implement it? What's the steps to realize it, and what effect it's gonna bring to us? Right now, the consumption of fresh water and other less predictable factors also leads to environmental issues. For precision farming, it's already happening. Top companies like John Deere is gathering information from real-time crop yields, weather report, machinery, and animal health, and they combine the big data with the farming process in order to increase the efficiency and sustainability. However, right now it's extremely expensive for people to do that because of the cost of big data. Big data is a new concept. It's relatively new. So I believe with the development of technology, the cost is gonna go down eventually. So in the future, I think it's inevitable, every farm gonna combine big data with their farming process. So how do we implement it? How do we do that? How do we do precision farming? For example, we combine real-time field information such as temperature, weather, and historical field data in the past years we combine it and we send it to the advisor through live streaming. So because we share this information with the expert, they can just give us advice, suggestion in the real time. So we can make reaction to that in the shortest period. That's how it increases our precision and efficiency. So for precision farming, the outcomes it's gonna bring is we're gonna use energy and raw material more efficient. It's very important because the energy and raw material we saved, it could be used in other industries. For food production, our main concern is not just the production anymore. We want it to be efficient, we don't waste any energy. That's how we improve sustainability. And we want it to minimize negative environmental issues. Because we can send the real-time information to our advisor. So the suggestion from the expert, they know what's gonna make a huge impact on the environment and what is good for the environment and what we shouldn't do, which is bad to the environment. They understand it, and they can tell the farmers. Then we combine those information together, and we end up increase our sustainability. And I believe precision farming is a future trend. It's a tendency. It's inevitable. Right now, people are using information more and more efficient. 20 years ago, people are now using PC. People don't even know social media. People don't really use internet that much. And right now, everyone's using internet. Everyone's using social media. And I believe if we combine all the information we can gather, either from online or from real-time field studies, we can apply precision farming into every American farm. Thank you.